What's up everybody, this is Blade12351 here, and today we're going to be playing some Mega Man. So here's our 6 Robot Masters that it is our job to take down. Our first Robot Master will be Gutsman. So normally when I'm playing Mega Man, I don't really go after Gutsman first all that often. I mean, he's an okay first choice, but there are easier ones, like Cutman and Bombman, for obvious reasons that we'll get into later. But hey, you know what, why not do something a little different, and we're going after Gutsman. Besides, that's one of the shortest stages in this game. So here's a part that most beginners will die at. There are these green platforms that carry you, and there are some breaks in the tracks that, upon touching, it will drop Mega Man like a rock. Get it? Because it's named Rockman in Japan? Yeah, clever, I know. But in all seriousness, the physics are kind of wonky in this game. But I can't blame me, you know, it is the first Mega Man game after all. There are a lot of things that this game does that doesn't carry on to later installments. Some of them which I'll be covering as we go on. So this yellow thing is a health capsule. Anytime Mega Man gets one, it automatically heals its health, depending on how big it is. And these guys are, as I like to call, hammer brothers with shields. They pretty much throw hammers and they shield themselves. Now a trick I like to do is go back and forth and shoot them. It's not the best way, well actually no, I'll take that back. It probably is the best way because you get the least amount of damage. Or you could be stupid and do what I did. By the way, don't do that. So if you jump down and hold right, you can get this health capsule, which gives back all our health. Hooray! And if you hold left here, you can get a 1-up. I was holding left. Why did I go through that? Oh well. By the way, you saw 2 spikes in there. Spikes in the Mega Man series are always instant death. Pretty much always. And in this game, even if you touch us out of the spike, it's still instant death. I know it makes a ton of sense. Oh my god, I got hit by a metal. Worst Mega Man player ever. I'm sorry guys, I'm a disgrace to the Mega Man fanbase. But anyways, these guys are Metus. They're essentially the Goombas of Mario. You'll be seeing them in many different games, in many different forms, so look out for that. So here's Gutsman, otherwise known as Dr. Wily's BFF. Seriously, why is it like Gutsman so much? Later in the game, in Dr. Wily's fort, we see statues of him. In the next Mega Man game, there's a different form of him. And to top it all off, in Mega Man 7, Dr. Wily invades the Robot Museum and steals Gutsman. I mean, Christ, it isn't even your own creation. Just in case you all didn't know, all these Robot Masters belong to Dr. Light. Dr. Wily stole them and reprogrammed them. Except Mega Man and Roll, who we see in the end of credits. And it looks like that I was so busy blabbering that I forgot to talk about the boss. So Gutsman has primarily 2 attacks. Every time Gutsman takes a single step, he'll cause a mini earthquake, which if you get caught in, you'll be paralyzed for about 1 second. It is very easy to get caught in that earthquake, so you must time your jumps pixel perfect if you want to dodge that attack. Cutman should not have 100,000 clear points. Sorry, I just felt the need to say that. But anyways, back to Gutsman. So his second attack is just him chucking a boulder at you, which really isn't all that hard to dodge. But once again, if you get caught in that ground pound and you're near him, then it might be impossible for you to escape. And his weakness is Bombman's weapon, which I don't really like. More on that later. But that's enough talk about Gutsman. We'll be encountering him later. And I'm not just talking about the boss rush. Anyways, here's Gutsman stage. Or Cutman stage, I'm sorry. I'm so used to Gutsman having this at the end that sometimes I pronounce Cutman Cutsman. But anyways, here's Cutman stage. So, when I'm not going after Bombman most of the time, and occasionally Gutsman, I'll go after Cutman. His stage isn't all that hard, a little bit on the long side, and by the way, these enemies have horrible aim. But as I was saying, going after Cutman first is a pretty good idea. It's what I did when I first beat this game. You know, something I always wondered is how strong are these white Pac-Man-ish enemies? I mean, I attempted to take them out at one time, but they were pretty bulky and I never ever got hit by them. I don't know, it's not very important, but you know, I just thought I'd bring it up regardless. So those pinkish enemies that cling onto walls, or pretty much anything I should say, most of the time I just ignore them, because you know, you can easily bypass them without getting damaged, or without wasting your time. They are kind of a tank to take out. So the only time I really take them out is when they're in my way that is like impossible to bypass them. And now I present you the area that always lags no matter what version you're playing. Most likely it's due to all the enemies. Some of the enemies in this room can't even touch you if you stay away from them, so what's the point of all that? And I don't know why I got hit by that. Just a heads up, this is all pre-recorded footage because I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm playing a Mega Man game, I cannot talk and play at the same time. I've attempted this in the past, but the end result wasn't really pretty. So yeah, for this whole classic series or anything Mega Man related, I'll be doing pre-recorded footage, just so you all know. But with that said, we are about a couple doors away from Cutman, and I hate those enemies. The enemies that shoot in all 8 directions. And I was so lucky to get past that. I was just running right hoping for the best, and I actually got lucky and he jumped high that time. I can't stress enough how much I hate those enemies. But anyways, while I'm here, I might as well say this now. In these areas on your way to the boss, you battle enemies. This is the only Mega Man game that does that. In future Mega Man games, it's just an empty room, which I'm glad they do it that way. But anyways, here is Cutman. So grab Gutsman's weapon and you can massacre him. But if you miss, then you have to do the Mega Buster, which isn't so bad because I say that because Cutman is probably the only Robot Master in the entire series to have knockback by Mega Man. So yeah, that's pretty fucking pathetic. Unfortunately, Cutman got the last laugh. I really hate in this game when you defeat a Robot Master, you lose control for about 1 second, and enemy projectiles do not disappear. So, if you're at like 1 health left, and Cutman was able to get that last hit on you, you pretty much die, so that's kind of cheap, but oh well, it is the first game in the series, so what do you expect? There are going to be some mistakes. And besides, he's Cutman. I don't think I'll ever have to worry about that situation. With that said, here is Electman stage. Electman stage is different from all the other Robot Master stages because instead of his stage going horizontal, it's going vertical. So yeah, I'll give it points for being different, although personally, I kind of find Electman's stage to be a bit on the boring side and kind of long. Probably the longest stage out of all the Robot Masters. Also, the stage has those damn blocks, which we'll get into more later. Be on guard here because there are these alien-like robots that will attempt to hit you. Now, that might not sound all bad, but as you can see, whenever Mega Man either equips a different item or gets hit by an enemy, he will lose grip of the ladder and he will fall, and that's not good. So be on guard. But oh no, Mega Man will now face his greatest enemy, the disappear and reappear in blacks. Oh my god. I'm telling you guys right now, this stage and the beginning of next stage, it's probably the only time that you'll ever be seeing me doing this puzzle legitimately, because if I have any means to bypass these puzzles, I will take that offer. And unfortunately, that weapon that we have will be getting later on in the stage. By the way, is it possible to get that hell capsule that we just passed? I mean, that looks like a really tight area, so if you were to jump out of that area, it looks like you would instantly die. Just wondering. Not that we need it. Ugh, not these alien robots again. Every time I see these guys, I feel the need to kill them, because if I don't, then they're really gonna start to annoy me. I probably should have took the right path, because unlike in that path, there's no enemies, while in this path, I have to waste my time getting, equipping my Cutman weapon and dealing with those guys. Pretty much every time I played this game, I would always have Cutman's weapon before coming to Electman stages, because, as you can see, it makes the level a lot easier. Well, at least to me anyways. Alright, and it looks like we are going to get one of the best weapons in the game, the Magnet Beam. Now, this weapon is required to beat the game. Later in the game, there's a section that requires you to use this weapon. So if you skip this, well, you're kind of screwed. Now, as you saw, there were 3 blocks guarding the Magnet Beam. In order to get it, you either need to use the Gutsman's weapon, which is what I did, or you can defeat Electman and then come back to his stage and use the Elect Beam on those 3 blocks. But since no one wants to do it that way, don't come to the stage first. I know Mega Man's all about choosing wherever you want to go first, but don't do the stage first. Just don't. Also, didn't we just see this level design a couple floors ago? Yeah, nothing gets past me, Capcom. And it looks like we are coming to the end of Electman stage. So before we talk about Electman, let's recap why you shouldn't come here first. Number 1, you'll need Gutsman's weapon to defeat some of the known enemies here. Number 2, you'll need Gutsman's weapon to destroy the blocks to get the Magnet Beam unless you want to replay this level. And it is now time for our main reason why you shouldn't come here first. Electman! Even if you manage to get to the boss at full health, he can take you out in 3 hits. Damn. Luckily, Cutman weapon can also take him out in 3 hits. So yeah, pretty equal battle. But who's gonna win? We'll have to find out. Spoiler alert, it's me. So to avoid taking damage, go to the left corner here and finish him off, as you're about to see me do right now. Thank God Elecman gets knocked back, because this boss would be so much harder if he didn't. So it looked like Cutman wasn't the only one then. So yeah, it was pretty easy with Cutman's weapon, but don't bother using any other weapon on him because it only take away 1 point of damage. Even Gutsman's weapon, which as you can see, the blocks I was just standing on above, you can use them to throw at Elecman, but even that won't scare him. Makes you wonder what's the point of that being there. But speaking of stages that you shouldn't come to first, here's Iceman. When I played this game for the first time, I went after Iceman first. That's something I'm never going to attempt again. Every time I come to the stage, I always equip my Elect Beam. It is the best weapon in the game after all. The green enemies I've been killing, if you hit them in the torso, their heads start coming out and they'll start flying all over the place to try and kill you, which can get really annoying. But with the Elect Beam, since it has such a big hitbox, it can pretty much one-shot it altogether. Just another reason to love the Elect Beam. By the way, why is Mega Man now able to shoot in more than one direction? You know, it's sad when Dr. Wily's able to get that right with base the first time. But whatever, it's a little bit too early to be talking about that guy. As you can see, the stage does have ice physics, so be careful. Damn, it's those disappearing and reappearing blocks once again. By the way, that enemy that I just killed, make sure you have the Elect Beam, because using the Mega Buster on it will do fuck all. The reason I'm saying this is because every time you're on the same level as that enemy, it will start getting incredibly faster, and most likely when you fall down, you'll get hit by it, so that can get pretty annoying. By the way, that's pretty much the last time I'll be doing the disappearing reappearing block puzzle legitimately, because now, it's time for the Magnet Beam! Hooray! So we now can kiss the disappearing reappearing blocks goodbye. I could have done that legitimately, but no, fuck that. Magnet Beam for the win. By the way, the reason I'm using it here is because every time those enemies hit you with their mini lasers and you're standing on top of one of those platforms, you will fall straight through it. I have no idea why, but that happens, which is kind of bullcrap, so I might as well just skip the whole puzzle altogether. And there's that one-up that I wanted to get, but once again, I keep going through the platform, even though I'm holding left. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal, though. Besides, I haven't even lost life yet. Not that I find it all that surprising, because compared to other Mega Man games, Mega Man 1's really not all that hard, once you master it, of course. Any veteran Mega Man player can pretty much beat this game in under 1 hour. Alright, but we're at the footsteps of Iceman's lair. So, Iceman, he really isn't all that hard once you get his pattern down. He's definitely the most predictable out of all the Robot Masters in this entire game. But, if you do manage to get hit by an Ice Slasher, you will take a lot of damage, so Iceman's not all fun and games. So this will be just like the last battle with Elecman. Iceman can take you out in 3 hits, and you can take him out in 3 hits. So yeah, there you go. Iceman can be one of the easiest Robot Masters in the entire game, if you manage to get his pattern down, which really isn't all that hard to do. I have been able to defeat Iceman with the Mega Buster, so that's proof that he's not extremely difficult. So there goes our 4th Robot Master taken down. I feel bad for Mega Man, he's pretty much killing all of his brothers, and he has to do it again in Mega Man 9. And Dr. Light did help Dr. Wily crit the Robot Masters for Mega Man 3. So wouldn't they be Mega Man brothers as well? You know, I'm probably the only one to give a shit about this kind of stuff. Anyways, here's Fireman stage. So at this point, it's just tradition. Equip your Elect Man's beam and get ready to kick some ass. Since the Elect Beam can shoot in 3 directions, you are able to kill most of the enemies in the section before you even come across them, as you're about to see right now. But enemies do respawn, so it looks like that one came back. Fuck off. Everything must die. Elect Beam is awesome. Out of all the Robot Masters in this game, Fireman has my favorite theme. It's just so catchy. And this does include Time Man and Oil Man, even though they never really got 8-bit themes, but you get the point. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Time Man and Oil Man were Robot Masters that made an appearance in the remake from Mega Man 1, Mega Man Powered Up for the PSP. Most likely the reason why Capcom did this so there would be 8 Robot Masters in the game, because starting from Mega Man 2 and onwards, every single game will have 8 Robot Masters. And this game, since it was the first one obviously, they only decided to do 6. But anyways, why don't we talk about Fireman stage right now, shall we? The fuck? Huh. Alright then. By the way, in the Wily version of this game, that's a pit, so if you fall through that, you're going to the lava. I don't know, I just felt the need to state that. I remember one of my previous attempts to record a Fireman stage, I went down that pit and it rolled me all the way here. Sadly, I no longer have the footage for that, so I can't show you guys anymore. But I'm pretty sure someone has done it before, so they should know exactly what I'm talking about. Something I always wondered, is it possible to get through this area without taking damage, you know, besides the magnet beam? Then again, maybe you'd have to use the ice slasher to freeze the fire, so I just kind of answered my own question there. Oh well, never mind then. But if you come here first, then most likely you'll have to take the damage. I don't think the fire will do that much damage anyways. And here are the not bullet bills. Be sure to be careful because those guys cause pretty big explosions, so don't be near one when you detonate it. And also, sometimes they don't spawn, which is kind of weird, especially in Bombman stage. Some of you guys should know what I'm talking about. But enough about them, we'll be seeing them in the next stage. So now, just so you know, you could have freezed the fire, but one of the reasons why I don't use Ice Slasher in this stage because I do that. So let's try that again. Ah, dough. You know, that was so much easier in my previous attempts. But anyways, you can also freeze those enemies too. I don't know why I didn't freeze that. I took the damage, but oh well, it's not like I need all the HP. Alright, so now it's time for Fireman. Alright, so this guy, don't bother dodging him, alright? Just jump and shoot. That's all you gotta do. Because this guy throws fire so fast that it's like you have to have like godlike reflexes to dodge him. I've heard that in the Wily Wars version, they slow him down so he's easier to dodge, but I never played that version, so I wouldn't know. But when it comes down to it, Fireman isn't all that hard. I heard that if you stand in the left corner and just keep spamming your Mega Buster, you should take it down pretty easily. Once again, I've only heard that. I never tried that out myself. But, maybe someday. Okay, so that's 5 Robot Masters down. Only 1 to go. So here is Bombman. Alright, so I should probably get this out of the way because I know I'm going to keep forgetting if I don't do it now. So, these pink creatures are very annoying. Especially this one. Fuck off. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, as you can see, every time we click Robot Master, they have clear points. Pretty much in this game, and only this game, you can see that above you there's a score. Every time you kill enemies, defeat Robot Masters and such, you get points. So, yeah, it's unimportant, but, you know, I thought I would address that. Pretty much after this game, this never comes up again. Alright, so at this part here, always kill that second robot, and then you should never get hit. I never see anyone do that, so I always cringe when I'm watching Mega Man 1 LP, and someone always gets hit by one of those. I don't know, it's just one of those nitpicky things. Anywho, here's Bombman stage. So, 60% of the time when I'm playing Mega Man 1, I would go after Bombman first. It's a little bit on the long side, but it is pretty easy. There go those not bullet bills again. Like I said earlier, don't destroy them when you're near them because they cause big explosions and the knockback may kill you. It's happened to me, so yeah. And I don't know why, but the bullet bills should still be spawning, but for some reason they're not. And I really shouldn't be complaining about that because they are kind of annoying. But anyways, Magnet Beam! This part really isn't all that hard, but still, Magnet Beam just to be on the safe side. Once again, watch out for those instant death spikes that still kill you if you touch the side of them, which makes no sense, but whatever, who am I to judge? There are those guys like to shoot in all 8 directions again, those fuckers. Something I always wondered, and apparently a lot of people have as well, what are those things in the background? Are we supposed to be in some kind of city? Is it a lollipop? I don't know. Something I always wondered, but maybe someday I'll find out. And there are those Sniper Joes. Fuck him, the extra life is not worth it. And he kinda glitched there. What I really love about coming here last is that this stage is much easier because you have all the useful items to kill the annoying enemies, like the Sniper Joes. Those guys are really annoying because they take forever to drop their shoes in this game. So it's nice to have the right item to take them down faster. With that said, here is Bombman. So equip your weakness, Fireman's weapon. Sorry, once again, I don't remember the name. So Bombman, he's pretty easy. All he will do is just jump and keep throwing bombs. You know, I noticed that every time you go near him, he, like, backs off from you, as you can see right now. So that's pretty much it. Out of all the Robot Masters, I recommend you do Bombman first the most. He is pretty pathetic. With that said, that ends this part. See you in the next part, where we go after Dr. Wily.